The advanced features section will talk about rollbacks and branching and merging. So now, what are rollbacks? For example, if you are contributing to a project to the source code, and if you have overachieved, like if you have added extra features and your client tells you later on that you don't need, or if you are making a project for college and you understand later that this is not needed, and you just programmed it for, and you realize that this was not needed, so that is overachievement of your source code. And in the case of underachievement, like you understand after a certain time that this thing was needed to be added, so that is when rollbacks can be used. And if at all you have completed coding your project and you understand that there is a small bug in it, you don't know what is the bug right now, but you know that there is a bug in it. So in such states, what you want to do is you will want a version of the file which has no bugs in it, or something like that. So what you do is you go through the commit history, you go through the commit IDs. Every commit will have a certain commit ID, which is a hexadecimal code associated with it, which is randomly generated. So you will have a commit ID associated with each commit. And with those commit IDs, you can roll back your changes. Like you can roll back is basically undo that you do in Microsoft Word. So with those particular commit IDs, you can roll back your changes. So all the three problems have just one solution, that is rollback. You can roll back using the git checkout command, git revert, or git reset. Now I'll be discussing in brief what is git checkout. Git checkout is basically you will use that to traverse from one branch to another branch. I'll be explaining what is branching in the further slide, but remember that git checkout is used to move between the branches. Suppose for now your working directory is on branch A, your code version is on branch A. You want to go to the branch B, so that is how you use git checkout for. You can also undo the changes that you mistakenly saved and then close the editor. So that also can be achieved by using git checkout. Do not worry if you don't understand everything. We will be providing a cheat sheet for those who complete the task, and that will have a detailed explanation of git checkout and stuff like that. So if at all you make if at all you make certain changes and save it and close the text editor, and later on you realize you need to undo those changes, then you can use the git checkout command to undo that particular file and all the changes that were made into it. So that is how git checkout works. Next we have git revert. It doesn't remove the changes, but it inverts. So for basically I am on commit number 3 and I have done commit number 4. So but then I realized that I needed the version of the files that were present in commit number 3. So I'll use git revert and then the commit ID. So what it will do is it will not erase commit number 4. It will create a new commit number 5, which will have exactly inverse changes that were made in the commit number 4. So you don't lose track of anything. You will git revert is used often because the history is preserved. Now then we have the third, git reset. It unstages the changes to the files that are in the staging area. It is used for going back to a particular commit very fast. So for example, I am on the 15th version of my file and I want to go to the 7th version of my file because I feel that was right. So I will use the git reset and the commit ID of that 7th commit, and I will move back to the 7th commit version of my files, and it will be hard setted. All the history will be lost. So that is why git reset.
Can we go a bit of slow?
Okay, so that is why the git reset command is not usually used, because you will lose history. So yeah, it allows you to go back to a particular commit, and it's as if the first commit number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 will cease to exist. They will never be recorded into history, and it will be as if those commit never happened. So you will lose all the track. So that is why git reset is usually not used. Now that was all about rollbacks. We will be moving on forward and talking about branching and merging. Now branching and merging.
Just a second. I will just explain the reset thing in a easy way. अभी समझो आप लोगों ने कोई mistake कर दी है, but it is a very large project and कहाँ पे mistake हुई है पता नहीं, like some connection mistake हुई, तो that is why we use reset कि इससे पहले जहाँ पे वो perfect चल रहा था हम वो position पे आ गए. So that is why it is used, but those are very used very rarely. So like we don't use rollbacks so much in GitHub. So yeah, Param, continue.
Yeah, so now I'll be talking about branching. Branching is used when you think that this ये वाला जो version है वो चाहिए, but I can try something new, but I don't want to mess up with this version. In that particular case, you use branching. Suppose, for example, you are on version number A, and then you will use the git branch command to move to version number A.1, which will have all the attributes of version number A, but you can make changes into that particular branch. Those will not affect anything that was present in the version number A. So you just you just move from one working node to the other. So your main branch would not be affected. In that particular cases, branching is used. Branching is a feature which is available in most of the modern version control systems, and like it is a reference or a pointer to a particular commit. You will have those change. You will have that particular version always, and you can make new changes. You can add a new feature. If branching is usually used when you're testing yourself and your ideas, so that is where branching is used. And if at all you get successful with what you have, with what you wanted to achieve in that particular branch, then it's time to merge those branches. Like जो initial branch था जहां से आपने branch किया, and आपके जो नया feature था उसको अगर merge करना हो, तो then in that particular case we will use merge command. So git merge will integrate the branches into a single branch. So git merge uses two algorithms. There it is fast forward and three-way merge. Fast forward, on the screen you can see an example of on the screen you can see an example of merging. So fast forward merges are used when there is a linear path between the commits, and three-way merge is used when suppose for example A commit से B branch पे गया and A commit moves forward, like A branch पे there is a new change that was made and it was committed. So then in that case three-way merge is used. We'll be talking about that in the cheat sheet. Do not worry, and we'll be providing links for the same. So don't get scared of what it is. It is not that difficult, and we'll be talking about it soon. Now moving on forward, we'll be talking about merge conflicts. So what causes merge conflicts basically is when Git is confused. So for example, if you and your friend are working on the project and your friend goes into some file, and on the line 5th he makes a particular change, and unknowingly you also make some changes on that particular line, then in that case it will cause a merge conflict, because then when you try to merge or when you try to integrate both of your branches, Git will not know which version of the file to be kept, because he does not know which is right. He just knows that it exists. So in that cases, merge conflicts occur. It only occurs in three-way merges. It does not occur in fast-forward kind of merge, because fast-forward kind of merge पे changes में merge conflict हो ही नहीं सकता. And if at all there are different files that you both of you have changed, then there is no issue. That won't cause for a merge conflict. So these were the causes of merge conflict, and solutions to merge conflicts are manual resolving. There is no other solution. As you guys can see on the screen, this is in the way in which it would be presented on your terminal or on your desired text editor. The red part which is highlighted, the text editor would convey to you that this is what exists and this is the changes that were made. Which version of both the lines do you want to keep? It would highlight even those particular letters and alphabets stating that यहाँ पे change है, आपको कौन सा रखना है. In text editors like Visual Studio Code, it is very clearly defined, and you can just by the press of one single button you can choose to keep either of the versions. So yeah, that was it about merge conflicts.